My opinion on it is still the same. Chelsea need a centre-back and a striker much more than they need a left-back, considering they have Ben Chilwell. I understand that Cucurella can play left-sided centre-back, but do you want to take an attacking left-back out of his favoured position to play him in a more defensive position? Probably not. You're not going to move Chilwell there either. There's a claim that he can play left midfield in a 4-4-2. Tuchel's not going to play 4-4-2 in the league. You could try everything you want to try and get Cucurella in there. I just don't feel he's the right fit for Chelsea, considering what Chelsea actually need. He's a fantastic footballer, though.
I'll go on, convince him.
I don't necessarily think he's not the right fit. I just don't think he's a priority. I feel like he would fit in a Tuchel system in terms of playing as a left wing back. I'm a big fan of seeing players compete for positions, because I feel like that brings out the best in players. And Chelsea will be very, very competitive on that left-hand side if they do manage to bring in Cucurella, who is a great player. He, behind João Cancelo and Andy Robertson, created the most chances, big chances for goals in the Premier League last season, despite the fact that he's playing for a Brighton side that don't create the most and don't score the most goals. So he's clearly a player with a lot of talent. He's a player with a lot of upside as well. We've only seen him for one season in the Premier League, so there are some questions and some unknowns as well. But for Chelsea, I believe that if this does work out, it would be a very, very good signing.
£50 million for essentially a backup left back. That for me would be the concern. That probably means you won't be able to spend 80 million should a striker come up that you could sign for 80 million because you spent a lot of money on it.
I do think that ties into the fact that there are 5 subs this year, and so we've seen Spurs go and do a deal for Richarlison and spend a lot of money on a player that's essentially going to be a backup. We've seen Man City over the few. We saw it last season. Jack Grealish, who was their £100 million man, when Man City needed the goal the most in the final game of the season against Aston Villa, he was still on the bench. So we're going to see more of this, an influx of players coming into clubs and clubs spending a lot of money on players that might not necessarily be first teamers, but might gradually have to break their way into the team. So spending £50 million on a player that's got that much upside is not a surprise to me.